I'm at a pub grabbing a burger. I'm off today and tomorrow.
Yay!
Dude,
G for G.
Thanks for
what
the
kind
invite.
not only that, what kind of burger? Pictures or didn't happen.
It's a
type
Der
thing.
burger.
Ah,
And that's how we start the show. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Controller Throwers Podcast. This is podcast episode number 83 for Tuesday, December 11th, 2018. Hello, everybody. I am Mike. With me, as always, is Mr. Kurtz
hello.
and Mr. Brian
Hi.
and Miss Sherry.
Hi, guys.
I thought her name was just Sherry.
No, it's always been Miss Sherry. You have to show that level of respect.
Oh! I thought it was like one word, Miss Sherry.
Miss Sherry?
Miss Sherry.
That's okay. Let's throw that on the list of nicknames we have for you.
Oh, no. Let's not, please.
I mean, it is better than Dysentery, so.
I don't know. I like this and Sherry.
You like Dysentery better?
I do.
Yeah. She's like,
So,
Yeah.
before we get into the news, I have a surprise question for Brian. Brian, I know the rest of us have seen this, but have you seen the teaser poster for the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
No.
Okay, good. I want you to see it live on the show. So there is a live action /
Do you want me to Google it really quick?
Yeah, but it's a live action and CGI Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So
like the Pokemon or the what's his name?
Right, like Detective Pikachu, exactly.
Pikachu, thank you. Yes, okay, so
there's a teaser poster out there, and I want to see what your reaction to how Sonic looks in this in this movie.
here we go.
I have not seen this either, so maybe
Close
I should
my-
do the same thing.
You didn't look at the poster?
No.
I sent it to you in the chat.
You did?
Sherry, thank you for looking at the picture.
I did. Okay. I thought there was a video. Never mind.
No,
so
no.
yeah, no, I saw the poster.
Now, usually on things like this, Brian usually is the voice of reason. Like,
What?
when we're all bashing something, Brian usually is the guy who comes in and says, well, wait a second, have you thought about this?
So is it the one in the shadow and he looks like he's in a 3-point stance?
Yeah.
Like he's playing defensive
What
line?
else is weird about it?
Yeah, is there anything does it look like a decent Sonic, or does it look all jacked up?
I mean, you just see a silhouette, so he looks. I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it because I'm not. I never really was a huge Sonic fan, but
Oh.
he looks. It looks literally like a sprinter with a big Sonic head on, like a.
Yeah, like a mascot head. That's exactly what I think.
There you go, a mascot head.
Okay, so
His legs are swole.
yes, he has giant legs and giant arms. This
Okay,
Yeah.
so wait, okay, so here's my next thing about this. From the producers of the Fast and the Furious. So, is Sonic being voiced by Vin Diesel?
Wow, would that be awesome? And fast and furious, right?
That would be so weird.
No.
It would almost work.
I'm sorry.
No, not almost. I think it really would work. I think it's honestly just an awesome dead-on thing.
There is only one person that can voice Sonic the Hedgehog. Only one person.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to say that since Sonic is all about speed, then it's the guy from the 80s Micro Machine commercials.
From Galoob. No, it is not that guy.
I can't picture Sonic talking really slow, so he has to talk really, really fast.
Sherry, do you know who I'm talking about?
Like an auctioneer.
The person who's
Yes,
voiced him
like an auctioneer.
constantly.
The only person that can voice Sonic the Hedgehog is Jaleel White.
Yes. Yep.
AKA Urkel from Family
Urkel.
Matters.
Purple.
Yep.
Yeah. He's been his voice for so long that it would be weird if he wasn't, you know? Like, I saw Wreck-It Ralph today, and obviously, like, they didn't use Jaleel White for the voice of Sonic, and I'm like, this isn't right. Something's not right here.
I needed those.
But Sonic doesn't have a voice in the video games.
No, but in the cartoons he did, obviously.
Oh, see, I don't
He's
remember. I don't
always
remember
been the voice
Yeah.
I
throughout
don't
each
remember him
different
in the cartoons.
incarnation.
Yeah.
I really don't remember him in the cartoons at all.
Well, Kurt, I got you beat. I don't even remember.
Sherry's
never
getting
having
mad.
a cartoon.
He's like, I don't even
No,
remember.
I was trying to.
I don't even remember
I was gonna say
Sonic. What are you
something
talking
snarky, but I decided not to.
So people are getting pretty upset about the way Sonic, his arms and legs, how they're just, and people are getting mad that he's wearing tennis shoes instead of running shoes.
Well,
But-
to me, they look like running shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously didn't zoom into him and like stare at him with a magnifying glass like people do with teaser trailers and
Yeah.
posters anyway. But
So.
yeah,
well-
he looks like he's about 5'8".
right.
When
That
I
was
would
a
picture
creepy
Sonic
looking
being like knee high at best.
Yeah.
He
So-
looks like he's been dipping in the roids a little too
Yeah.
much.
Too many of those Chaos Emeralds causes chaos on your glutes.
Right?
So.
Ugh.
So we'll have to wait and see what the trailer brings, but there were some really funny comments. One of the funny things I saw on Twitter was the makers of this movie were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should or could. I messed that up, darn it.
Oh,
But you know what I
Mike.
mean.
And show's over.
On that
Cut.
note, Sherry, what's going on in the news?
All right. Well, Capcom.
See, it's not just me. Not just me.
This whole episode,
Cut.
thankfully,
Start over.
Capcom.
Capcom
Okay.
is trying something new on the business side for Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. And I think we should all mark this day down as the beginning of the end. Capcom announced that Street Fighter V is adding optional sponsored content on December 11th. The game will now feature advertisements for the Capcom Pro Tour competitive gaming event, content bundles, and DLC costumes for sale. The ads will show up in loading screens, tournament stages, and even on characters' clothing or the character model. The ads on stages, meanwhile, will display sponsored content in clear sight. Capcom did advise that the loading screens with ads won't be longer than those without ads. The important thing to note is that these ads are optional. If you do decide to watch them, you'll be rewarded with extra fight money, which is the game's form of currency, when you play ranked and casual matches. You can use the fight money to purchase DLC characters, stages, outfits, and color swaps. Ads in Street Fighter V launch on December 11th.
Today.
Brian,
Okay, so my first thought is you got your two classic fighters, going back and forth on the screen, and then right above it you have a big Mountain Dew logo, and then you have Ryu winning the match, and he like cracks open a Dr. Pepper, takes a drink, and just snap it to a Slim Jim.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's even worse than that. They actually are going to have sponsored stuff on their clothes.
That's so cringeworthy.
The new DLC is called the Ford Ranger. I don't know. I got nothing.
No, that's good. The Ford Ranger. It's an
Ford
actual
Ranger level.
It's you're fighting in the backseat of a Ford Ranger.
See,
I was gonna say the cab as it's driving down the street, but hey, that'd actually be probably a fun level.
Actually, it's
with car, you gotta.
in Street Fighter 2, there's a bonus level where you destroy a car, so they could put a Ford Ranger in there.
Yep.
The smashing of this Ford Ranger was brought to you by Chevy.
I mean, I understand that it's going to be optional, and it's kind of like how Twitch has their, you can watch these ads for biddies kind of thing. So, okay, but I just, no, it doesn't sit right with me. the fact that they're going to have it in the game, like, it just...
But see, is the game stuff optional or is that non-optional? Because, I mean, here's the thing. I felt the same way, too, at first. At first, I'm like, oh, my God, this is just another way to get ads in our face because, of course, ad revenue makes money, right? But at the same time, if you do make it optional, does that mean that the game's clothing turns into regular game clothing and billboards turn into regular billboards instead of advertisement billboards?
Mm-hmm.
And now, the one thing obviously, I'm not really a big fan of this idea, but I'll tell you what, I would rather watch an ad during a loading screen than have to pay for a loot crate.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's why
I would not be offended if the main character or my character, whoever I'm fighting as, looks like he just stepped out of a NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
With just patches all over. I wouldn't care because I would rather do that, and I would rather look at a Mountain Dew logo than have to pay $9.99 for a loot box.
Yeah.
So in that sense, fine, bring on the ads. Who cares? But I tell you what, you're gonna look at a loading screen and probably get a half a cent worth of whatever their in-game currency is. So you're gonna have to do that for 25 hours of looking at ads to get $1.
Right.
It's gonna be ridiculously cheap that you're gonna get.
So, and the other thing is for now, and I'm heavy emphasis on the for now, they're only advertising the Capcom Cup, which is Capcom's world tour of fighting game tournaments, of Street Fighter tournaments.
Okay.
So they're only advertising for themselves.
Okay.
But if it's not going to last long like that.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the only thing that, the only game that I think in-game ads work are sports games. And only when they have it in the background or like on a board or something, or they say this replay brought to you by State Farm or something, because that's
something that you would see in real life anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
But but Capcom is starting to become a lot like how EA used to be, just anything for $1. It's all this. It's like people do things just because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
That's just
really sad.
I can't talk about it anymore.
Isn't like that anymore?
It's giving me a headache.
Here, take 2 of these.
Little,
different.
yellow, different. Wow.
Our younger listeners will not catch that reference.
No.
So anyways, but I don't know. Are there any other games you could see in-game ads working? Like, as long as I'm not playing a game and it's like, okay, Legend of Zelda, I go into a room, the door closes and the gate comes down, that means you're about to fight a boss. And then it says, will Link be able to defeat this boss? Find out after these messages. I'm like, no, I just want to play the game.
The gate closes and it has a Geico ad on there.
Yeah.
Right?
Fight the Gecko.
The boss is the Geico lizard.
Yep. I'll do that. I'll fight that guy. I'll beat the holy hell out of that guy.
Now what about that though? You have a game where the enemies are advertisers.
Where you're fighting the actual advertisers.
Yeah, like Ronald McDonald is an end character, or the Geico lizards are coming at you, and you have to just button match them to kill them.
In context, I could see that working if you're playing a game like Saints Row.
Yeah.
Which by the way, Brian, another bit of news, they announced a remake of Saints Row 3 for the Switch.
Okay.
The third. Yeah. I think so. You played the third, right?
I would
Oh, okay.
I played them all. Yeah, four was a little ridiculous, but
yeah.
1, 2, and 3 were.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's but go. Oh wait, Kurt, you had something to say.
Hey, I had a couple things to say. You guys got that moving on.
Okay.
I would say if you had a racing game with billboards,
that'll work too.
That would be a game like I could see advertisement. So there's a lot of racing genres, like sports genres. You were saying like billboard and stuff like that. I think going like the whole Zelda route is way, way too far fetched for that type of stuff. But
I hope.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, that would be a loss of a franchise. Like, that would be an end of a franchise if they did that.
Yeah.
Realistic.
Because
Right.
I would be offended. Like, I don't want ads in my games at all. Like, I buy this because I want to play this. Like, it's bad enough that we're bombarded by advertisement 24/7 on the internet, on TV, at work, on the radio, on your phone, on iPads. I mean, it's everywhere. So, like, please, let us nerds have our video games and leave us alone.
But other things like shmups, like shoot 'em ups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I could see that, like, because sometimes they have little buildings with little, like, billboards and stuff like that. Or, like, look at, I mean, we did the whole thing with Rampage. I mean, I could see Rampage actually having, like, legit billboards and stuff like that. They have the Smashdown. So
sense.
it's not too far-fetched that they would have this stuff, but I really don't think it'll be to the point of Zelda or somebody else.
What you're saying, Kurt, is it has to be in the right game. And it has to be something that would be there in I shouldn't say a real life situation, but it would be properly placed.
Right, exactly. Like a game like
a racing game, a billboard on the side of the road, even your car, how NASCAR race cars have advertising all over their cars.
Right. Yep.
Or the uniforms, or a sports game, or Call of Duty 4, and you're going down a road and you're seeing billboards, you're seeing advertising on buses, on bus stops,
sure.
Something like that would be. But then you're playing Metroid or Skyrim or
Skyrim, a billboard for Mountain Dew in Skyrim. Heck is this monstrosity?
Something along those lines would be a franchise killer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think we can all agree, if done right, we can live with ads. But if it's interrupting gameplay or in any way messing with the actual game you're playing, then that's not very good.
Right.
Okay. By the way, the Controller Throwers podcast is brought to you by Hormel Chili No Beans. That's right, the official chili of the Controller Throwers podcast. I had to throw something in there.
Do we get free beans now?
I hope.
No, chili no beans.
Hormel chili.
Yeah, it's chili no beans.
No beans,
man.
that's right. So free Hormel chili with no beans. Because if so, my wife can make a heck of a lot of taco dip with that.
Yes.
Sweet.
That's what we'll be sponsored by. Kurt's wife's taco dip.
There we go. That's the name of the brand too, Kurt's wife.
Yes. Mrs. Kurt's taco dip.
No, it's not mine. It's my wife's taco dip. So. She earned that. So, anyways, moving on. And speaking of poking fun at stuff, I know we've all poked fun at this game before as much as many other games, but we all should call out success warranted. So, Farming Simulator 19 has apparently gone off to a strong start, selling more than 1 million combined physical and digital copies over its first 10 days.
Should we do like the slow, like building up clap where it's just like, because we don't have the GG button, right?
I do. Well, no, you have to do it on your side. That's why. So I don't have the GG
well, your
button.
microphone could pick up your actual GG button.
I don't know where the actual GG
You
button.
lost it.
You gotta find the GG. Well, then just say it.
Oh my goodness.
GG.
Okay. There we go.
So, according to Christian, and of course the little document. Hold on. Ammon, the CEO of Giant Software, this new franchise records. This is a new franchise sales record. He goes on to say, it's incredible to see the impact that the team's hard work of Farming Simulator 19 offers so many new opportunities, and our players are thrilled about them. Never before has a Farming Simulator game reached the 1 million mark so quickly, and we're so proud and happy that so many players join us in this amazing journey. In case you're interested in the game, Farming Simulator 19 was a complete overhaul. The game's graphics engine, which Giant Software says delivers the most striking and immersive visual effects. The game also adds major new licenses like John Deere, along with a number of new locations in America and Europe to create and expand a farm. The game also adds rideable horses for the first time. Can we say, yes, everybody's going to be picking this up because, Red Dead Redemption 2, you're riding a horse and, we're just going to be riding farm horses now.
I just need to add to go back to the last topic we just had, but John Deere licensing, advertising in a game.
But like you said, in this situation, it works.
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
Because I think in the farming simulator games, I think they already had Case New Holland and a couple others also. So just adding John Deere would be oh, okay, well here's a DLC, but it's included in the game now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they all have licensed stuff. I mean, that's like saying that in Forza that you have Audis and now you're gonna have BMWs or something like that. It's just kind of like DLC or hey, we now have a new license to the game.
It's already part of the game. It's not like an additional different entity. Like it just I don't know. I know what you mean.
What was that one car?
Show the name.
Yeah. What was that one car they added to Rocket League that they announced at the Game Awards?
That orange car.
Kurt?
Oh, Kurt was, yeah. He was like, oh, if you know cars, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't remember the car name. But
if you were
a car guy,
Doc Martens.
Those are shoes, dude. But yeah, if I can't remember, but if I saw it, I'd recognize it.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we gotta say congratulations to everybody working on Farming Simulator 19. That's one of those games when you see it, you're like, oh, who's gonna buy this game? But apparently, there's a lot of people that got the game. It's like, it's really incredible.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at graphics of it right now, and this game looks amazing.
Brian, will this be your first official Brian full-on stream? Well, no, Fallout 4 was that, but will this be the next game you stream? Christmas is coming up.
Well,
I'm texting the wife.
Living in John Deere country right now, because the John Deere headquarters is in this area.
We went to the museum.
It's like mandatory that we have this game. I think that's where the 1 million copies came from, just all around here. Because everyone's like, John Deere, oh my god, we gotta buy it. But no, I mean seriously, this game looks amazing.
Looks like we got Brian's interest peaked.
He's gonna go.
As soon as you were like, oh, you could ride horses, I was like, I'm in.
He's gonna go cut down some wheat. Then you see Sherry doing laps around him in a horse.
Yep.
Is it multiplayer? Oh my god! Could you imagine all four of us
working on a farm together? Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian,
although
research.
If you did that, it would have to be, of course, PC Master Race.
Oh,
maybe not. They might have it for PS4.
They do have it for PS4.
No, I'm saying like the multiplayer, because I know.
They do.
Oh.
Well, if it is, I'm sure they will.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm watching videos now. This game does look awesome.
Well, we lost Brian.
I mean, just like it looks good. It looks amazing.
After the show,
obviously it's just like a video. It'll have like gameplay. It's not really showing like what you have to do. But wow.
We'll have to check Twitch and see who's streaming it.
Oh, there's tons of people streaming it.
Yeah.
1 million copies sold in 10 days. I guarantee you there's a ton of people streaming it.
I got to say, just hearing that actually made me more interested in the game than before. So, but anyways, congratulations.
That's because you could ride horses?
No, because you could plant corn.
Plants. Cool. And watch it grow.
And then cut it down. And then plant it and watch it do it over again.
You know what the rule is for corn, right? No? Knee high by the 4th of July? That's the rule.
Farmer Mike.
That's what you got. It's got to be.
Okay. That's your new nickname. Farmer Mike.
Farmer Moke.
Farmer Moke.
All right. Let's get off the farming simulator before I literally leave the show. Let's talk about the Game Awards from last week. So in case you missed it, like I did, unfortunately, here's a rundown of the winners. So we have the best ongoing game is Fortnite. The best game Direction, God of War. Best Narrative, Red Dead 2. Best Score / Music, Red Dead 2. Best Audio Design, Red Dead 2. Best Performance, Roger, I got that backwards. Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan. Best Games for Impact, Celeste. Best Indie Game, Celeste. Am I saying that right, Celeste?
Yep.
Good. Best Action Game, Dead Cells. Best Adventure Game, God of War. Best RPG, Monster Hunter World. Best Fighting Game, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Best Family Game, Overcooked 2. Best Strategy Game, Into the Breach. Best Sports / Racing Game, Forza Horizon 4.
Forza.
Best Multiplayer Game, Fortnite. And the Game of the Year goes to God of War.
Yay! Now, God of War, that hit us all by surprise.
Yeah.
All night. So, not you, Brian, you called it?
You remember I called it last
Yep.
I called it last week.
Yep. So, good job, Brian. They owe all this to you. It's like wearing your lucky it's like wearing your lucky socks when your team wins a game. That was all me.
Exactly.
I was wearing my socks.
It was exactly.
There you go.
So any surprises to you guys?
God of War winning Game of the Year was a big surprise for me.
Yeah. The way the show is going, I mean, we really just thought it was going to be Red Dead,
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised, yeah.
Yeah, and I was also surprised that Spiderman didn't win anything.
Yeah. For being such a good game.
Yeah.
But I think that's a little too young. I don't know. You think it was like a little too young for them to actually like?
It came out before Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead came out. Spider-Man
Did
came
it
out.
really?
Spider-Man came out in September.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay.
Red Dead November. You know what? These are all about right. You know, it's. I still think that either the guy who played Kratos or Boy should have won for best performance.
Yeah.
Boy.
That was funny too, when they were both on stage and he was about to, but he wouldn't open the envelope. He's like, "Open the envelope, boy." And the audience
I
just
think that was
went
my
nuts.
favorite part.
Yeah. That was cracking me up. So, but yeah, congratulations to all the winners for the Game Awards. It was a good show. So not only were there a lot of announcements of winners, there were also a lot of surprise announcements. So we're going to just kind of blast through those right now. So some of the announcements. So Joker from Persona 5 is going to join the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate lineup as a DLC character. It was announced Mortal Kombat 11 for the PS4, PC, the Xbox One, and the Switch will arrive on April 23rd, 2019. It's only 4.5 months away.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, was announced as a Switch exclusive, being developed by Team Ninja. Another Far Cry game, Far Cry New Dawn, which is a post-apocalyptic style Far Cry, and that's coming out on February 15th for the PS4 and the Xbox One. That's another game that came out of nowhere. Ancestors, The Humankind Odyssey, which I put in the notes as the monkey game.
The monkey game.
Accurate.
That was accurate, because all we know is that there's monkeys running around, and then one of them learned how to use a stick, and then that's it. That's coming out for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the PC. And The Outer Worlds, which was a very interesting trailer, because nobody knew what to expect from it, but it looked like a cross between Borderlands and Fallout. And it was actually created by the original creators of Fallout.
Right.
So that was announced. That was a trailer. That was kind of a wacky trailer too. But
what was the one last year where the guy? Oh my God, the guy there was baby pods and there was black sludge and
you're talking about
Norman
Death
Reedus
Stranding.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, Death Stranding.
Yeah.
That's
Still
right.
not out.
That's
Still not out.
That was like, I think they have to have one of those. What the heck is that? Type games every like award ceremony, because last year it was that. This year it's this one, and you're just going, what?
What's going on?
So I will tell you this, that when I was looking at some of these games here, and from the Outer Worlds, what I heard, it was a cross between Fallout and Mass Effect.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw that, I was like, ooh. I mean, those are two of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
So just kind of seeing that and seeing a couple little pictures here and there, that actually piqued my interest in that game.
When we were watching it, that's actually almost what I said. I was like, it looks like Fallout in space. So
Yeah.
It's it's pretty. I was excited to hear about Mortal Kombat 11. The trailer was really good. It was very bloody, and from what I understand, from what we've heard about it, there's actually going to be like a gore system in the game. So they're
Really?
even going to make it even more visceral than prior Mortal Kombat games.
I don't agree with their choice of music for the trailer. I don't think it made a good
Oh
fit.
yeah, that was a terrible
But
choice.
other than that, I'm very surprised that it's going to be making its way to the Switch, considering its history and its gore, and you know how Nintendo is the family-friendly console. And I know that it was on there before.
Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
2.
No, I know,
Since Mortal
but it
Kombat
just
2.
I don't know. I was just kind of surprised actually that
I was
that
actually-
it would be making its way to Nintendo.
It's not Midway anymore. It's NetherRealm Studios. But because I think so many people were asking them to put it on the Switch, and with the Switch's popularity, I think they're just like, you know what, we'll give it a try. So I'm going to show my support. I'll pick it up on that system.
Nice.
And then, of course, the big surprise, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We were watching the Game Awards. It was myself and Kurt and Sherry and Roger and Blue from Gamerheads podcast. We were all watching it together. And when the trailer first popped up, we were like, "Oh, what's this? It's Marvel." And I'm like, "Oh, it's just another episode of that Telltale game," because that's what the graphics looked like. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, this isn't it. This isn't the Marvel game." And then I'm like, "Oh, this looks interesting. Looks more like," and it never crossed my mind that it would be even anything related to Ultimate Alliance 3. And then when the screen came up, and the title screen, it said Ultimate Alliance 3. I was like, oh my god! I'm like, I gotta call Brian! Where's my phone?
He did.
And I called Brian, and I told Brian had just had a surgical procedure done, and he answers the phone, and he's like, hello. And I'm like, Brian,
I was literally sleeping.
It's Marvel! And he's like, what? I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Talk slow. Think before you say your words.
He literally sounded like this. They just announced the Alliance for the Switch. Wait, what?
So yeah, in case you were wondering, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is a lot like Gauntlet. I made mention of that. Because Kurt and Sherry were like, okay, what's this game? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm like, it's just like Gauntlet. And then they wouldn't let me live that down for the rest of the night.
No. For the rest of your life.
The rest of my life.
Yeah.
So now the new joke is that everything's like Gauntlet.
Everything's like Gauntlet.
Everything's like Gauntlet. So what did you think of the announcements? Were there any... I was kind of bummed out that we didn't get to see the new Cuphead trailer.
Yeah.
Or the Battletoads trailer.
Yeah.
So I was kind of bummed about that, but I was still happy with what we got to see. So what were your thoughts on any of the
Do you even think any of those two trailers are actually ready to be shown yet, though?
They're supposed to come out this year. Or next year.
2019,
Yeah, but I think...
You would think they would have something.
Right,
you know.
because at E3,
But
they just showed like a title screen. They didn't show us anything at E3.
Do you think they're trying, since they were such a huge success, do you think they want to keep it hush-hush and a secret and then just bam, here it is, or...
I don't know.
Possibly.
I want to see what Battletoads looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So, anyways. So anybody else, any other announcements or anything out of the Game Awards you wanted to mention that you thought was interesting? I'm kind of bummed out, though, that one developer dude was really tame.
was tame this year.
They had him under wraps this
They
year.
had him, yeah. They
No.
patted him down before he walked in.
They ended up giving him some like sedative or something like that
Yeah,
because he
to
was
keep him down.
really, really tame.
Who
I
was
love
the
that
one?
they brought him back, though. I love that they brought him back,
Yeah.
and they had to. I'm sure he got them tons of traffic, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they had to.
Who was the one guy that wouldn't stop talking? Wasn't there
there were a
somebody
lot
who
of them.
accepted his award and he's like, all right, they're telling me I have to stop now.
Was that the streamer guy?
Was that you mean
The guy with the
Ninja?
costume? The Sonic?
Oh, you're talking about Sonic Fox?
Sonic Fox, yeah.
He talked for a while. Yeah, I think that was
He was
Sonic
real
Fox. I
nervous,
think he was
too,
real
yeah.
nervous. I think he went a little long, but
Yeah.
oh well. Either way, I thought it was a good show. Personally, I thought it was
the
a good show,
was good.
especially from what I've seen in the past, where it was ridiculously commercial, and they had people giving the game awards that you could tell never touched a controller in their life, you know.
Yeah.
But as opposed to not this year, which I just think it went smoother. It felt better. Like the performances were actually done by like orchestras, as opposed to like, oh, by the way, here's Soulja Boy or something, Like,
Soulja Boy.
what does this guy have anything to do? What does this guy have to do with any game like performance? So I don't know. I thought it's definitely getting better, and I'm really happy with it. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I enjoyed the show. There was nothing that really jumped out at me that like I was really like psyched about, but that's just me. But no, it was a lot of fun to watch with you guys, and yeah, it was a good show for what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. It did go a little long. I was getting sleepy towards the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was tired too, but I think that's just the 5 a.m. club,
Yeah. So, 5 a.m. club. Yep, absolutely. All right, so that's our news. So let's get into what's coming out this week. So, Brian, what games are to be released this week? Uh-oh. Brian's muted.
We lost his
Oh, there we go.
audio.
Now we can hear you.
Can I move that down? Better?
Yeah.
All right, so as I was saying, games that could possibly be in next year. We have Guacamelee 2 for the Everspace, the Stellar Edition. Some big, giant, weird name that I'm going to...
Oh.
Okay,
Hey, Bri.
yes.
I hate to interrupt you, but you're breaking up. So,
It's not me, it's you.
okay. Because it's breaking up. I get it. So I'll give you a break. And I'll do the games.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, don't be. You're cool, man. So the game's coming out this week. Guacamelee 2 on the Switch. Everspace Stellar Edition for the Switch. Senran Kagura Burst Renewal for the PS4. Dragon Marked for Death for the Switch. 8-Bit Armies for the PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. And Below for the Xbox One and the PC. Everspace I heard good things about.
That tells you right there.
Yeah. Everspace is kind of like it's in space. It's kind of like, what do they say? It's like faster than light mixed with I forgot what the other game was. Like Skyrim or something like that. But it takes place in space, and there's a lot of space battles like Star Fox. So to say it's like a Star Foxy version of Skyrim or something. I guess.
Okay.
So, and then Dragon Marked for Death. That game looks good. Back like when the Switch first came out, they showed off an indie. They did like their first indie Nintendo Direct, and Dragon Marked for Death was one of them. So
What's it
that looks
about?
good.
Is there an actual dragon? Because I'm going to be upset if there's not.
I'm sure there is. I don't know. Remember. I haven't seen any videos on it in a while, but it's
Okay.
it kind of looks like a ninja, I hate saying cross between Double Dragon and Ninja Gaiden. So it's like a beat 'em up, but like with like lots of jumping and swords.
Okay.
Yeah. So, sorry, Brian. What was that?
Aren't those games about the same anyway?
Kind of. Ninja Gaiden was a lot faster, and just more about hitting them once. Double Dragon was more like beating them up and stuff. I don't know. Does anything look interesting to anybody?
I haven't seen
Nah.
any of these,
Yeah.
but 8-bit armies kind of like piques my interest just because 8-bit,
You're right.
you know, and I'm like, oh, okay, I could probably get into something like that. So I mean, that just kind of piques my interest. So I'll do a little more research on that.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just copy and paste what Kurt said.
Right. Right.
All
It's just
right.
easier.
Yeah.
Sure. Copy
All right.
paste.
Good. So those are the games that are coming out this week. So let's jump right into our retrospective. This is the part of the show where one of the controller throwers is assigned a retro game. Retro meaning it has to be 15 years or older, and their responsibility is to research the game, learn all about it, to play it if they can, and to come back the next week and tell us all about the development and as much information as they could find on the game, so we can get one of those the more you know stars to come across the screen. So this week, Kurt, your game was Excitebike. So Brian, thank you for assigning that to Kurt. That was it was the thrower's choice. Brian decided to be nice to Kurt, and instead of giving him Shadowgate 2, he gave him Excitebike. So Kurt, what can you tell us about Excitebike?
And I appreciate that, Brian. Let me just say, I truly appreciate you doing that. It's kind of weird because playing this as a kid, I thought there would be a lot more background to the game. I thought there would be a lot more information to the game. I thought that they would get in depth to the development, the story behind it, or something. But no. It basically was just built as a motocross racing game, and that's it. There was no, big, huge story behind it or anything like that. They basically said, hey, we're going to make a motocross racing game, and it's going to debut for the Famicom, and it's going to be a launch title for the NES. So we're like, oh, okay, cool. So getting into, the actual game itself, it was a release game for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1984. The start of the game, you could choose between 5 different tracks in which you want to race. The player chooses whether he wants to race solo or against computer-assisted players. There is a certain time limit that you have to get to the end or the finish line, and there also is a time to beat. And as you're playing the game, you'll see that the time to beat is kind of along the billboards as you're racing. You have to continue on to the next level. You have to get into third place. The controller is basically is playing it as younger, and I replayed it. I did actually replay it, and I swear it's harder now than I'm an adult than when it was when I was a kid, because the controls are kind of wonky on it. So as you're racing, you move your little D-pad up and down, and that switches you from one track to the other track up to 4 tracks. And then as you're jumping, that up and down access gets you, I can't remember which one it was. It was, I think that up and down actually doesn't do anything, but the side by side, left and right, raises or lowers your bike.
Yeah.
So if you press left, you start pushing down on the handlebars. If you press right, you actually start pulling up on your handlebars, if I remember correctly. So
Gotcha.
It's so hard because when you're actually jumping and stuff like that, you're not realizing that as an adult, but as a kid, it just came naturally. But like, as an adult, I couldn't remember. Like, I'm like controlling my bike left and right and everywhere else, and I'm just like a hot mess, just all over the track. Also, one of the features is that it has the A and B buttons. Both of them are for acceleration. Okay, but the B button gives you faster acceleration. Problem is, if you hold the B button down too long, you'll overheat. If you overheat, your player actually will sit there for several seconds until your bike cools down. So that was like the difficulty mode, because you always want to be like number one. You always want to be the best. So like trying to judge between B and A, B and A, B and A all the time while you're racing, I think that's like one of those mechanics where you really got to hone it in properly. Mm-hmm. So there were other modes for it. They have 3 modes of gameplay. One mode is just a solo race where you just race by yourself. Another mode was playing with computer generated players, and then the third mode, which would be design modes. Now this is the only thing that I found like a backstory on, is that in the Japanese version of the game, they actually allowed you to save your creative
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was only for the Famicom data recorder, which was actually a cassette tape recorder. So after you finished making your game or making your level, you could actually record it onto a cassette tape and then bring it to your friend's house or whatever for gameplay.
Oh.
So that was kind of cool that they did for the Japanese version of it. Unfortunately, when they actually brought it to the Americas and to Europe, that feature never even existed. Although, in the game itself, it did have a save and load menu, but when you tried to access them, it basically said that these options were for a future release or a future update, which never did come.
Wow.
So that's the only interesting information that I found out about that I never really knew. And I remember seeing the save and load and never being able to really use them. And I'm like, what's going on here? So it is kind of cool that they actually used a cassette tape, and you could actually bring that cassette tape to your friend's house and actually play your created tracks on their Famicom system, as long as they had that cassette tape player.
That is so cool. Because that was one problem that I always had. I loved making my own tracks in this game when I was a kid. But I'm like, all right, well, as soon as I'm done making this track and we play it and we exit, it's gone, man.
It's gone, yeah.
Yep.
You would have thought that they would have added the memory module and the battery like they did with Zelda, at least, so you could save it at least locally, But unfortunately, they didn't do that. They said it was for a future release, and it never did come out. So there were other ports and remakes of Excitebike. There was Excitebike 64. There was also a couple virtual console remakes and ports and stuff like that. They had like spin-offs like Excite Truck, Excite Bots Trick Racing, and Excitebike World Rally 3D Classics for Excitebike, stuff like that. But they there's never really been like an Excitebike 2 or anything like that. There's just been like ports and remakes of it. So that's all the information I could find on it. I mean, I wish there was more, but
well, no, actually the fact about the cassette player was cool. It's also actually you helped me understand some stuff, because one of the things I never understood when I played this game as a kid was when you choose race against the other players mode. I only saw 4 or 3 other guys on bikes besides myself, and I passed all of them. There would still be other people in front, and I'd be like, "Where are these other people coming from?"
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then now that I realize you're not even racing against them to be in first place. You're still racing against the time in the background.
Yeah,
and
you're still racing.
Those other bikes are just there as obstacles.
Yeah. So basically,
you're
cool. racing against the time on the banner that scrolls across all the time, where you see the people in the background.
Yeah.
that best time, that's what you're trying to beat.
And that's what decides whether you're in first, second, or third place.
Right.
I didn't know that either.
So it's not like I was like, what are you talking about? I beat all those people. Why am I in second place?
Right. I keep passing the same guy. That same stupid blue bike guy. Why is he still in front of me? Yep.
So, well, that's cool. Well, thank you very much, Kurt. Anybody else I'm sure everybody here has played Excitebike at least once, right?
Oh, yeah.
Once.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. Well, thank you very much for that, Kurt. I appreciate it. So, Brian, we are going to go ahead and spin the wheel for you, buddy.
Yes.
And we're going to see what wonderful game you get to play. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So you can all let me know when you all see the wheel.
We all see it.
Yep.
And let me get it so the people can see it. There we go.
Now we can't see it. There, now we can see it.
All right. So let's give the wheel a big spin. You ready, Brian? Let's see what game you're going to get. Spin that wheel. Okay.
Money.
Big money, no whammies.
And stop.
Oh, 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Thrower's
Rigged.
choice.
Wow. Thrower's choice again.
Wow. It's rigged.
Great.
What was that, Brian?
Is there a T on the board? I'd like to solve the puzzle.
That's right. Thrower's choice. Yep. Yeah, you could solve the puzzle. You could buy a vowel. All right. So what game should we give Brian? Any suggestions?
Oh, boy.
I never heard of
There
that
you
game.
So we did something NES. We did something easy.
What did we do last time? We've done some Sega Genesis games already. How about for Brian? Let's see. So we did NES.
We did NES for me. We could
So-
keep with NES. I actually thought of a game, but we've already done it. I was going to say a Boy and His Blob, but we did that one already.
Oh, no.
You know
we-
what?
yeah, we did
How
that.
about this? You know what I'd be interested in finding out more about?
What's that?
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
There you go.
Brian, are you okay with that?
How old is that, though?
It came out on the PS1, so it came out in like 2000 or 1999, something like that. Okay.
I'll be happy to.
Okay. He'll be happy to do that. All right. So
Yeah.
you guys are good with that?
He's got technical difficulties. Give us a thumbs up if you're okay with it.
Yeah, he said I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Oh, there you go. Okay. Because I
All
can't
right.
hear him at all. So.
that's okay. I could hear him a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so Brian, your game is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Sweet.
That'll be fun. I'll be interested to learn all about
Yeah,
it.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you didn't want to do that, do like something like,
Okay.
oh,
Oh, there he is.
There.
where'd you come
Welcome
from?
to the Controller
Like
Throwers
that.
podcast.
I shut it off Skype and restarted it.
Good
Wow.
thinking, man. Good thinking.
There you
That's what yeah. All right,
yes,
so good.
1999 is when it came out, so that's
Boom. I am smart.
it
Awesome.
works.
Awesome, awesome.
SMRT. Yep. So good. All right. Cool. So that's our retrospective. Kurt, thank you. Brian, we'll be thanking you next week. And then Sherry, you'll have 3 weeks to do yours, so you'll have lots of time. That means we expect you to stream it.
Ooh.
And beat it.
Yeah,
and
and
beat
beat
the
the
game,
game.
too.
Yep. So we'll give her Ghosts and Goblins.
Yes.
You guys
Just
love me, don't you?
see her face change when she Ghosts and Goblins. What? Anyway. All right. So let's get into what we've been playing. So who would like to go first and tell us what they've been playing?
I will.
All right.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Because there's always a lull right there.
Yep.
Because we're all kind of like, So I just figured I'd get it out of the way. I played one game and one game only, and it was not of the block type. I've been playing Red Dead. So I've been playing the online part of the game ever since that came out. and I have been playing sometimes with you guys, but sometimes by myself because it's fun even by yourself. Sometimes not fun. Like I was minding my own business, just hunting, and some guy came up and tied me up. And well, he pulled me off my horse, tied me up, and took my horse and ran off. So that was interesting. I had another instance where I was, again, minding my own business, just hunting, and I was about to pick up my kill, and someone ran up behind me, shot me in the back of the head, and then ran off, I mean, of course, you know that these things are going to happen, but usually I don't know when it's coming, but these really kind of took me by surprise. But then you have people that run up to you and they're waving, and so, I don't know. I've just been kind of derping around, just enjoying exploring and hunting and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've been playing Red Dead and really enjoying the heck out of it.
All right.
Horse theft and tying up and all.
Yeah. Have you found anything interesting? Any hidden items or any hidden Did you join any public events or anything like that? Or
no, not yet. I haven't had too much time to play in the past couple days over the weekend because I was busy with personal stuff. But I did. I raided an outpost unsuccessfully, and I did have. I came across a guy actually who started raiding it with me, and it was funny because I did have my headset on, but I wasn't talking because I'm very weird about the whole other people can hear me and I can hear other people, and I don't know these people, and introverts unite. So, but the guy I came up across, upon him. And right away he goes, "Oh my God, don't kill me, don't kill me." And I just started laughing. And so I waved at him because I wasn't going to talk.
There you go.
So we together raided this outpost and didn't really get very many spoils, but it was cool. I didn't kill him. So he didn't kill me.
That's good. Did you notice the economy change?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not from the last time I played. So
okay.
And that was last week sometime.
Okay.
I think it was Thursday was the last time I played, but yeah, I'm eager to get back into it. I just have not had the time between work and all the things happening. So probably tomorrow, actually, to be honest, I'll probably jump back in tomorrow.
When?
Sounds good.
Tomorrow after work.
Okay, thank you. Trying to give yourself a plug,
There you go.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll stream.
There you go.
Because you got to play with me then, Mike. And Vash. Is Vash here? Where's Vash?
I don't know. I don't know if he's here today.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you, Sherry.
That's kind of why I was asking what time, because maybe but
I haven't really been streaming. I've kind of been off and on, really. So I'm not adhering to a schedule at any point right now. I'm just kind of like, I've got time, so I'll stream. It's one of those things right now.
All right. Kurt, how about you? What'd you play?
Same. Other than, I already told you that I played the Excite of the bike. So I did that. I played Red Dead Redemption 2. I found out and I figured out how to take my horse and just completely just run him right into a river and lose my deer. So that was fun. I actually had to chase after my deer down a rushing river, and the jerk wouldn't let me pick him up. So I had to go run farther down the river, and finally he washed up on shore, and I was able to grab him. I was out of breath. And then I had to put him back on my horse, and then try to get my horse to go back. So I figured out how to do that. So that was pretty awesome. I figured out also how to ride my horse off a cliff that you can't see. So I was just kind of minding my own business, and all of a sudden I face planted my horse off the side of a mountain. Did not know that it existed. And then when I got back up and started riding my horse again, I face planted him yet a second time within 30 seconds.
That was great. There should be an achievement for that.
There should be.
There might
because,
be. Who knows?
Yeah, I might have already gotten it. How many times can you wreck your horse? So let's recap. I donkey punched my horse. I shoved my horse off the side of a mountain, and I face planted my horse twice in a row.
Nice.
I've also jumped off, or not even jumped off. I walked off the side of not even a building. It was like a ledge, and face planted myself in snow. That was fun.
That was funny.
What else
I think we clipped that too, didn't we?
Yep.
Yes.
There's clips of all this stuff. The one thing that I don't think is clipped, though, is that while I was riding in my pack, I decided to pull out my gun and shoot the person in front of me. Although they didn't get any damage. They didn't die for some reason, so I don't know why. There must have been a glitch with that, because you would have thought that if you shot your own, pack, you would have killed them. But, yeah, I was just galloping along, and I went, BAM! And just put my gun away. I'm like, oh, that was the wrong button. So,
I gotta say, that had me cracking up. When you're just riding your horse and your horse just goes face first and launches you into the river, and just you flew off that horse so fast, it was like something, some kind of comedy routine. And then you stand up and you dust yourself off and you look over and all you see is this deer carcass that you were carrying just floating away, and you're like, hey, get back here!
That's exactly how it happened. I'm like, because I read the bottom of it. The bottom of it actually said, go retrieve your deer. And I'm like, wait, retrieve my deer? I'm like, where are you going? So
it was funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
What else? God, there was so many funny things in Red Dead Redemption that I've done, and I'm enjoying the game a lot.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I can't wait to be able to
Kurt,
afford.
have you made it down the mountain yet?
I
think
Are you out of the
did.
snow?
Yeah,
I
he's
think
out
so.
of the snow. Yeah,
I'm out of the
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did. Because
Okay,
I was
good,
derping around. Because what was I doing? Oh yeah, I shot wild animals and stuff like that. I was just derping around.
Yeah.
I think I derped around for 45 minutes straight. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna go ride in this direction. And then I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna go ride in this direction. I was passing people. I'm like, partner. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's about all that I've done. And I once I stopped being poor, I could actually afford the online stuff, and I can't wait to play with you guys
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. We all of us need to get online
Yeah,
at the same time.
I've been waiting for you guys to get online, and nobody ever seems to want to play online, Mike.
Aw. Yeah, Mike.
I got nothing.
Say hashtag blame Mike. Everybody's like, already
We
did that.
should try to maybe do it this weekend. That would be, if we can try to get on, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So.
I want to see if I played anything else. I can't. I'm trying to think. Let me go out on my Steam account and see if I played anything.
Okay.
Left 4 Dead 2. No, I started it, but I never played it. Nope. I
Okay.
think that's it.
Well, thank you, Kurt. Brian?
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to go next. So like everyone else so far, I only played Red Dead. The reason I was hashtag blaming Mike for playing online is because twice on Friday I asked him, hey, let's jump on some online. Let's jump on some online. And he kind of just basically in a polite way just said, pound sand.
Oh!
I dodged that question like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's so I was kind of like, okay, you know what? He doesn't want to play, so fine. He doesn't want to play. So my fun stories on Red Dead. Well, number one was I had a death in the family. Epona 2 got blown up.
Oh no!
Yeah, apparently I was riding past. That was my second horse. Yes. No, well, I'll get back to that as well a little bit.
Okay.
Brian, just that's also the name of the episode, is Epona 2. Or R.I.P. Epona 2.
Yeah.
Or no, better yet, no, I like Epona 2 got blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nighttime and it was dark, and I was just riding down the trail, and I heard two people talking, and I got a little closer, and there was a cart that had a light on it,
got a little close to it, and all of a sudden the cart blew up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And Mike can even attest to this. I was like, my horse just died. I was like legitimately sad.
Brian was like, I had never
Aw.
seen like normally like Brian like he gets like he'll get like table flipping mad and start yelling and something and stuff, but this completely took him by shock, and he's like he almost like didn't know what to do next.
Aww.
I mean, I've heard of your horse dying, but I'm like, no, you can't lose your horse. So yeah, I lost my horse. So needless to say, I hung around by the road until somebody walked by or rode their horse by, and I shot them and took their horse.
Like a good cowboy does.
Yes,
Nice.
yes. So I took my saddle and I got on his horse and brought it back, and I got Epona 1. And then I decided to do something that I thought would have. I don't know why. I mean, I wanted to try this, but I figured now is a good time. Is that I went and tried to tame the most difficult and rarest horse in the game. Albion or something like that, Ambrian, or I don't remember exactly how it's called, but basically it's a horse that you can either tame in the wild or you can wait till just about the end of the game to buy one.
Oh.
And it's an elite horse, and its stats are amazing. So the first time I go up to the area where it was, and I found it like, on the internet. I found it on the map where it is, and I went up there and I saw it, and I was like, wow, this horse is actually a beautiful horse. It was pure white, whiter than the snow it's in.
Yeah.
So the first time I go up to it, and I crouch down and I call it out, and I calm it down. I pat it enough to where I can actually get onto it. Get onto the horse, it bucks me off. It runs away. I lose it. So I'm like, crap. Okay, fine, whatever. Wait a couple days in the game. Go back. It's not there. So first, before that, I even like just walked around for about 30 minutes in this area just trying to find it. Couldn't find it. Legendary animals there. I ended up killing legendary animal and taking that out. So then Saturday comes and I'm playing again and still don't have my horse, but this time I decide I'm gonna try to tame 2 regular horses and get some practice. Tame 2 horses. Went and tried it again, and on the second time saw the horse up there, and this time I manually saved the game. So I'm like, I'm not gonna, if I lose this game, if I miss the horse, I'm gonna just reload. So I sneak up to it. I walk up to it, tame it, or calm it down, and actually get on it and actually tame the horse.
Okay.
So I have this horse. I have the rarest horse, and I'm like, yes, yes. And I actually texted Mike, probably in the middle of his Perler show, and said, I just got my horse.
Yeah, I think so, because I remember hearing about it. Yeah.
And as I'm riding back to the stable, and now it's nighttime in the game, so I'm riding back to the stable, and I get attacked by a pack of wolves.
No.
And the horse bucks me off. And I'm riding it bareback, so I don't have any of my rifles or anything. So I have just my handguns. And there's like 5 or 6 wolves. I kill like 1 or 2 of them, and they ended up getting me.
Yeah.
And I lost the horse.
Oh.
So I reloaded, and I'm like,
no.
okay, you know what? Maybe it's still there. I actually tamed it. Maybe it's still there. No, it wasn't there.
Oh.
But that was okay because I manually saved. So when I reloaded my manual save, it brought me back not to the spot where I originally saved it, but to the spot where it reloaded from when the wolves killed me, which was down the river. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I died and this autosave overrid my manual save. I was about to get mad. So needless to say, I walked down there anyway, and the horse was still there. And the third time, I tamed it again.
Oh gosh.
So then again, nighttime, and I'm like, okay, I'm going a different route. I am not going to these wolves. So I go down, I get out of the snow, and I'm in the woods. And then what do I hear when I'm galloping through the woods? I hear a bear.
Oh.
I'm like, if you buck me off, I swear to God, I am going off. I am unloading on everything and everyone that I see. So the horse gets spooked, but it doesn't buck me off. So now I have Epona 3.
All right. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Brian.
I have
Yay!
rarest horses in the game, and it was difficult, but my God, this horse is amazing. This horse is fast. It's awesome.
Awesome.
So
Ride like the
then
big bullseye.
it does. It does. So then one of the thing I found out that I'm loving about this game is I spent about an hour and a half doing this on Saturday. I went and I'm like, I got my horse. I got one legendary animal over the weekend. I'm gonna go for legendary fish.
Ooh.
So I go to a lake where I saw one and I start fishing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put in first person mode.
Oh.
And I am fishing first person mode, and I literally just stood there for an hour, just catching fish and releasing, catching them, catching and releasing. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like,
Fish Simulator 2019.
Yep.
yes, yes. I'm like, it's getting nighttime, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna catch fish better in the daytime. I literally like made a camp out by the lake, and I slept until morning, and I'm fishing again. It starts pouring rain, and I'm fishing in the rain, and I'm like, this is first person fishing. This is my new hobby in this game.
Well, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so nothing accomplished at all, except story mode or anything.
Playing
Nothing
around.
accomplished at all. Just literally hunting my horse and fishing.
All right.
Nice.
Sweet. Thank you, Brian. That was those are some awesome stories.
Thank you.
So I too played a little bit of Red Dead. My experience was a little bit different than Brian's. Actually, my experience was a little bit more like old Brian, not this new Zen Brian that we got working for us now. I killed a legendary coyote, and I was so excited, and I skinned it, and I grabbed the pelt and everything, and I'm on my way to the trapper when these 4 bandits jump out of a bush and kill me. And I said, and I was talking to Brian in a party, and it was dead silent after I said these guys just killed me, and then I'm like I just respawned and I have to all this coyote stuff is gone, and then it was completely quiet. I'm like, you know what? I'm done playing the game for now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just turned the game off. I'm like, I gotta go.
Mike just rage quit the game.
I rage quit the game.
And I will say this: if we were playing online, that never would have happened.
What? Oh yeah.
Because I asked you twice before that.
Yeah. So that's I played that, but so that's all I'm going to talk about with Red Dead. I also played Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, and it's such a great game, such an incredible game. You could actually see my review on GamerheadsPodcast.com. I have a written review, and if you listen to the Gamerheads podcast, you'll hear my audio review of it, which is just me stumbling over my words saying how great it is. But that game is like a Metroidvania type game. All the animation is hand-drawn. The music is phenomenal. The controls are spot on. The difficulty is great. It is really easy at first, but it really ramps up the further you get along in the game. And it's just an incredible game, and I would highly recommend anyone who's a fan of 2D games, Metroidvania games, hand-drawn games, games with great soundtracks, look into this game because it is an incredible, incredible title. So, thanks, Gamerheads. I appreciate it. So I played that, and then, of course, I played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I didn't think it was going to be, and this was my thought, and if you listen to our post E3 show, you'll hear me talking about it like, I don't know if I'm interested in this game. Ultimate, it just seems like it's just a remake of Super Smash Brothers for Wii U with a couple extra things on it, a couple extra characters. I couldn't be any more wrong.
Really?
Oh my gosh, this game is so deep. I haven't even done the single-player adventure mode, and the single-player adventure mode, from what I understand, is like a 40-hour game.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did a few regular matches. I did a few online matches. I
Okay.
played a few online matches against Vash. Um, what else did I do? And then the thing that really got me going was went into the spirits mode. So instead of trophies, the game has spirits, and it's kind of like little cards with the character art on it.
Mhm.
And what you do is there's your main spirit and there's your support spirits, and you can only attach one group of that to your character to give you a buff in the game.
Okay.
So depending on the character, depending on the card that you collect, you get different advantages. Like some of them say you start the game with a baseball bat, or some of them will say your fire attacks are stronger, things like that. So in this spirits mode, the cards randomly pop up on the screen, and they're only there for about 5 minutes, and it's got a countdown timer. And you can select the card, and you have to fight a character with certain conditions. Sometimes it's like a tiny Bowser, or it could be a giant Mega Man, or it could be a giant metal Mega Man, or it could be a regular Mega Man with 3 Dr. Marios helping him. It all depends on what you're trying to earn. And each card or spirit is either like novice, regular, ace, or legendary. And the legendary ones are extremely difficult to beat. But obviously the novice ones are really easy. So that's like their form of collectibles in it. And I played that for like 2 hours straight, just trying to collect all these things. I was able to get one legendary by sheer luck. I was fighting a guy, I forgot who I fought against. It was either Princess Peach or Rosalina or something. And one of their support support people that was on the team with them threw the warp star from Mario Galaxy, the one that shoots you off into space.
Yeah.
And she accidentally went into it, and it launched her straight in the air. If it wasn't for that, she would have destroyed me because it's that difficult.
Oh wow.
So I got a really, really good legendary card. So I'm really enjoying that, and that's a ton of fun. It's really cool seeing all this artwork. Like from Mega Man characters to Castlevania characters to even some of the minor characters from Super Mario RPG, or like it even had, what else it had, Brian? It had, I got the spirits of the 3 ice hockey players, the tall guy, the regular guy, and the fat dude.
Really?
Yeah. And so it was like a cartoon drawing of them from like concept art from the 80s or something. So
That's cool.
I was excited to get that. So I got that unlocked. It was awesome that only the original 8, or was it 12? I'm not sure. The original Super Smash Bros. 64 characters are only available at the start, and you have to unlock the remaining 62 or 65 characters through regular playing.
Lots.
But here's the thing. You can go through classic mode, which is like 8 battles, just like any other classic mode in fighting game, and then you'll get Here Comes a New Challenger, and it's random. And then you could play an online game, and then you'll get Here Comes a New Challenger. And then you can play like 4 rounds of the Spirit mode, and then it'll say Here Comes a New Challenger. So you unlock the characters pretty fast in the game.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's what I played, and it was even more fun because my son started getting into it, and he's going crazy with the Spirits mode. And it was great because I'm watching him, because it was fun to watch him fight these characters, but it was even more fun for him to say, "Hey, who's that?" And I'm like, "Well, let me tell you a story about the 80s."
Nice.
That is a floating Medusa head from Castlevania 1. Let me tell you how much I hate floating Medusa heads from Castlevania 1. You're trying to jump between 2 platforms, and this Medusa head knows the exact right spot to hit you right in the stomach to send you back, and stuff like that. So, let me tell you about Airman. So, I love Airman. Anyways, I digress. So that's what I played.
Nice.
Yeah. So Smash Brothers Ultimate, great game, loving it. All right, so that just about does it for this week's episode of the Controller Throwers podcast. Thank you everybody so much for watching and listening. Let's give you our social media information. You could find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/TCThrowers. You could also find us on Twitter. We are at TCThrowers. That's at T as in Tom, C as in Charlie, Throwers as in throwing things. You can also find us on twitch.tv/TCThrowers. We air the podcast every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can also go to stick around on twitch.tv/TCThrowers because I stream games. I host Sherry and Kurt on their channels. And every Saturday night we do Saturday Night Perlers, where we make Perler Bead video game characters, such as Primrose from Octopath Traveler, and Metapod. Anyway, so be sure to give us a follow. We provide a lot of great content. Sherry, you're going to be doing some streaming, right?
Yeah. I'm hoping to get back into Red Dead tomorrow after work. So if you want, you can check out my channel. It's ShareFlow over at twitch.com. If you follow, you'll get the notifications when I go live. I don't have a set schedule right now, so it's best if you follow. So like I said, you get the notification. But yeah, that's what I'm playing right now is Red Dead. So if I do stream, that's what it will be.
Awesome. All right, and what else? Am I forgetting anything else? We are a proud member of the Gamerheads network of podcasts. So be sure to check out GamerheadsPodcast.com. Be sure to check us out if you want to download the podcast. You can find us on iTunes and at Google Play Music and at GamerheadsPodcast.podbean.com. You can also check out Roger's awesome show on that as well. And that's it. Oh yeah, next week, be sure to join us next week because we're going to do our end of year awards. And then after that, we're going to take a 2-week break as we get into the new year, and then we'll be back in January. So that's all I got. So I got nothing else. So until next week, everybody, have some fun, play some games. We'll see y'all next time. So long, everybody.
Bye.